Welcome to CB's podcast, a casual podcast about creativity, creative process, and us learning how to make things. I'm Steven, uh, author, designer, person, and with me, as always, is Ralph, and we're the creative duo that make up Sea Beasts, a storytelling studio, creative studio thing. So anyway, today is right around the 250th anniversary of America.
Yes.
So Fourth of July is coming up for us, and we also tomorrow, and the U.S. team won our game in the World Cup this past week, and so it's going well. That's why I got this hat on for those in the video. I just got this hat today, but it's got the U.S. men's national team, like the U.S. badge on there. So, funny enough, the first not forever, but like the only attire that has American symbols or colors on it. So anyway, it's a good choice. Today we're gonna talk about Burnout, and not the game, not the video game Burnout. That I believe was that like a drag racing game or street racing or.
I think street racing, and the gimmick was destroying the other cars. It had like complex car destruction mechanics, which were...
Maybe we should just talk about that, actually. But,
yeah, that sounds nothing more American than that anyway.
Yeah, muscle cars. Anyway, now we're talking about burnout in your work, creative projects, different things like that, and how to avoid it. Some ideas on finding a good balance, not getting too burnt out on one thing that you abandon it forever. So that's not what we want. We want to encourage creativity and encourage doing things, not being able to do things. Anyway, Ralph, how you doing? Any plans for this 4th of July weekend?
Yeah, they're all sort of just up in the air though. Like, just as the days go by. I have a 3-day weekend, so today, which is Friday, and then tomorrow, Sunday. So, for today, really, we're just having a cookout at my sister's house. And then tomorrow, we're probably going to have a cookout at my sister's house. And then Sunday...
switching it up to have a cookout at your sister's house?
I think we might have a cookout at my sister's house.
Well, that'll be a nice change of pace.
It's gonna be good. And my mom made special. I also don't have really any American representative type apparel or anything like that. But my mom, for this occasion, took the liberty to make something for all of us that we can wear.
Okay.
I don't know what everybody else's looks like, but she got me, and actually, I'll be unfolding this for the first time also, so she got me.
If you're not watching the video, you should go check out the video.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever this reveal is, I haven't seen it yet.
Here it is.
USA 250 with a scary bald eagle. What does it say at the bottom? Just United States or something? Or it's backwards on my end. 250 years strong. There we go. Wow.
So it's pretty...
That's pretty American if I've ever seen it.
Pretty American.
Yeah.
Not really my color, Mom, but,
You should just wear that all the time.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm more for muteds, and this one is a bright red.
Yeah.
So.
There's and with a cartoon vicious eagle in the front. So
yeah.
Nice. That'll be fun. Especially, it's fun when like everyone's got things like that.
Yeah.
It's
like going to a costume party.
Kind of, yeah. I like this hat because it's kind of more neutral.
Yeah, very pretty understated. It's fine. Yeah.
And it's actually about soccer. It's not about, it's still about the U.S., but anyway. It's a great country sometimes.
Once upon a time.
Yeah, I feel like everyone feels that way.
I think so, yeah. It's safe to say at this point. What are you drinking?
Coffee.
Oh, coffee? Nice. I
Yeah,
thought, wait, didn't you quit caffeine?
that was months ago.
Okay, you're back on, huh?
Yeah,
Welcome back.
no, I quit caffeine for like 2 months. That was like January and February, and then it was great. But I just really like coffee,
I
so
know, dude. I know.
yeah, I tried like limiting myself to be like, okay, well, I'll just have 1 cup a day,
Mm,
and now I'm like, I shouldn't have 3 cups today. That's
sure.
I almost always have two at this point.
Yeah. I've done something where I basically have decreased the amount of coffee.
Yeah.
So I still have coffee every day, but I've decreased the amount. Although, this weekend that's totally out the window because every time I hang out with my family,
They all coffee brewing or something.
the once we're finished with dinner, somebody comes out, mom or Amy, and they're just like, "Does anybody want coffee?" And yeah, I do.
Is that decaf coffee at that point? Or are you drinking like caffeinated coffee after bedtime or
Well,
after
some
dinner time?
after bedtime.
After bedtime, yeah.
I'll drink caffeinated or decaf. Either
Man,
way, it literally doesn't affect me. It's the same either way. I feel nothing. That's actually a separate statement.
yeah. You feel nothing just in general, like
Yeah.
just no emotion. Anyway, so
But yeah,
any
so yeah.
okay. Well, that sounds fun. I think our plans for the holiday weekend, like we've got today's Friday. We got the day off for the holiday. Um, we were gonna go up and visit my wife's grandma up in Fort Collins, Colorado. But she wasn't feeling great today, so we're gonna try next weekend. Um, Otherwise, I got some projects I'm trying to do. I'm building a bike shed,
What?
and yeah, to put our bikes in outside because they're just floating around in the garage or in like our other shed that just is falling apart and has like
You've
lawnmowers and
mentioned this. You've invited me to move in there.
yeah. We got a lovely shed
Lovely.
with at least 2 walls that are not falling apart.
Oh,
Two of the four.
okay. All
Um,
right. Can work with that.
and it's not entirely covered in, mildew, and it's not all rotted away.
A little bit of mold. A
Yeah,
little
you
bit of
never know,
mold. Hey, it's fine.
dude. And I've only found one black widow right outside of it, so I
Oh,
mean, it's probably fine.
nice.
It's a great place to stay. Anyway, I'm building a different place to put our bikes, just because they're taking up too much space everywhere, and we don't have a good system. So I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow, and then we got to cook out with some friends
Nice.
on Sunday. But
Cool.
yeah, I just need to talk about the weather right now in Colorado. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
for so first of all, my brother texted me the other day, and like just 2 days ago, something like that. And he was like, he lives in like the Brooklyn, New York City area, and he was like, it's 100 degrees here today. I'm like, that's awful. I'm like, it's 85 degrees here with a chance of fire.
Yeah.
So in Colorado, because if you haven't seen, there are so many wildfires in Colorado right now, and the biggest one just reached like 60,000 acres as of like this morning.
Man.
Other ones are covering like 20,000, 30,000 acres, and then there's a bunch of smaller ones too. Um, but none that are like right around my town, so like we're not on fire, but it smells
Good.
like a campfire outside,
Oh,
like
wow. That's crazy.
all the time. Yeah, it just smells like you're just having a campfire, but the air everywhere smells like that.
I feel like this was not, I mean, you know, maybe I just didn't know. Maybe people didn't talk about it or something, but I just feel like the fire thing where there's just like rampant wildfires
Mm.
across the western side of America is not like that just started happening like a few years ago and now it just keeps happening. I don't know.
It
I mean,
it's been a thing. It's just I remember one time either like early college or in high school where like like all of Colorado was on fire, but Colorado was
okay.
just this like hypothetical place that
Okay,
I'd
yeah.
never been to. But um
Well,
yeah, there's been different fires. I mean, like moving out here, there were people like in town in like a canyon right outside of town, or like a part of town called Black Forest that had like a big wildfire go through and like destroy a bunch of homes and things. Like that's kind of like right in town. That hasn't happened. I've lived here for like 11 years now, and we've never had anything like in town. So, but it's crazy. Like, so the smoke, like it smells like campfire. The visibility is awful. Like it just looks hazy everywhere. Like Wednesday was a bad day, and like you couldn't see like the front range, like the mountains, which usually we have like a clear picture of the mountains, but it was just so much smoke in the air that like the visibility was terrible.
Yeah.
And then that evening, it started like there was ash falling from the sky. Like literal, I caught white ash in my hand that just like turned into like a dust when I
Yeah.
when I touched it. Like campfire, like ash if you're burning something. Like it was the I've never experienced that before. Like our cars, like it was a very light like dusting of ash on them, but like you could very clearly see all the little spots of ash that landed there.
Yeah.
Um,
It's wild.
it was so crazy. Anyway,
Is it projected to, end?
the air quality has been better the last yesterday and today. It doesn't smell nearly as bad. There's still like a slight hint of like smoky smell outside. Um, but a lot of the fires are like not contained. I think they're working on some of them. They have like a percentage of it slightly contained, but I don't know what the projections are to actually like get them out. Um, but depending on the weather and the winds, it affects like how much smoke and stuff we get because they're west of us and way in the mountains. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's definitely hot here, but it's not. Nothing's on fire.
That's good. Yeah, we have like fire restrictions in town. So like all the fireworks shows got canceled for 4th of July. Um and like you're not allowed to have like campfires in your property or any kind of open like burning. I can't even use like my pellet stove for like my pizza oven to like burn wood pellets. You can only use gas and propane because it's when there's high winds and like everything's dry, all this stuff. Yeah, it's dangerous. So
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, hopefully that resolves. Have you done anything fun recently? Watched anything? Played anything?
Um, I have been playing Far Cry 5.
Okay.
Oh, and Halo with you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right.
So,
Gearing up for the remake.
yep. Yep, the 28th. So we'll keep everyone posted on that for sure. But no, outside of that, yeah, I've been playing Far Cry 5. I actually really like Far Cry 5. It's one of my comfort games because I don't know if you know anything about it or if I've talked about it before. I feel like I have, but
I don't think you talked about it.
no? Okay, well, dude, so okay, Far Cry 5, what I really like about it, it's okay, it's an Ubisoft game. So it comes with what that means, which is like it's an open world and it has like
Okay.
objectives and it's kind of padded out a little bit and it can become repetitive and it's not super deep, stuff like that.
Sure.
But if you just grant it those things and you let yourself play by the game's rules and kind of immerse yourself into it, it's really fun. It's actually a
Okay.
really fun game. In my opinion, well, I would just say it's probably my favorite Far Cry game. A lot of people have a different, maybe some people like the third one, some people like 4. No one likes 6, so we don't even have to talk about that. But
Is the villain in 5 that the guy from he's like a villain in every show ever?
no, that's 6.
That
And
was
that's the
6.
one
Okay.
nobody liked because
Gotcha.
they changed a bunch of stuff and made it
Okay.
like really stupid. The story was bad, writing was bad. Anyways, no, Far Cry 5, it's all about a cult.
Okay.
But it takes place in America and it takes place, I think, kind of. Oh shoot! You know what? I'm just gonna look it up because I don't want to be wrong. Where does
So the only Far Cry games I've played, when I first built my PC, I got some code for a free game of Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, which is like a spin-off game of Far Cry 3. that's in this weird like 80s retro vibe style. And I think I played part of Far Cry Primal.
Okay, yeah, there's Primal too. Yeah, that one they also switched up the systems, but
Yeah.
people actually liked Primal, but they did go back to the formula. So it takes
They've always
place in
intrigued me.
yeah, no, I would recommend 5. So it takes place in Montana, and that's really the thing that I love about it is it is so pretty. Like it reminds me of an exaggerated version of where I live.
Okay.
Kind of like mountainous region, America. There's all kinds of like, well, this is kind of topical with America, right?
There you go.
Big America. Like people are hanging flags, people are like patriotic, and then there's this tug of war between like the cult and the leaders of the cult, and what they believe is going to happen, which is what they're calling the Great Collapse. They're
Okay.
projecting like it's some kind of nuclear threat, right? And they're prophesying it, and it gets into stuff like that. But I would say it does it in a way that's sensitive and doesn't get too political. It's fine, you know.
Sure.
So I really like it. It's really fun, and I just love the landscape and just walking around in the world. It's it's kind of a guilty pleasure because I'm not I wouldn't recommend typically like an Ubisoft kind of style game or anything like that,
Okay.
but I enjoy this one. It's been fun.
Well, if anyone is on PC and wants to play them, I just looked them up and every single one of them is on sale like
They're all on sale.
80
Nice.
to 90% off for every single one.
Yeah.
Like they're all like $4 for Far Cry 3, $3 for Far Cry 4,
Whoa,
and
that's cheap.
$9 for Far Cry 5.
$9, dude.
Even
You gotta get it.
Far Cry 6 is only 15. So,
Also, Far Cry 5 has drop in, drop out co-op as well. So like you can just kind of
is it cross-platform though?
I don't know. That I do not know.
Probably not because it came out in 2018. So,
Hmm. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not.
interesting.
The villains are good too, though. The villain, the cult leader guy, he's it's interesting, and he talks to you throughout the game, and you kind of interact with all the villains, and they all kind of have their thing. There's like 4 bosses that all make up the Seed family, who are the villain of the game, and you
Okay.
kind of learn about them and what they do, and yeah, it's really cool. Good one.
Nice.
Oh, and the gunplay's pretty good. The tools and stuff you get to use are really fun. Blow stuff up, you get different weapons. You can use like a bow and arrow, or you could use like a automatic rifle or like a hunting rifle, or it's cool.
Yeah. Nice. What have I think I've got two main things that I've been doing. One is watching World Cup, as I talked about my hat. And like I'm not a big sports guy and don't really follow any sports or any teams. I've always enjoyed soccer, and I've always said if I were to get into a sport, it would be soccer. And I've gotten all in on the World Cup, and that's been really fun. Uh, so I don't know if it'll last after the World Cup. I've been like, okay, like, well, I'm in Colorado, so I should support like the Colorado Rapids as our MLS team. Um, and I have a way to, it's on Apple TV and all the MLS games, so like I can watch it on there. I also have whatever subscription that has like Premier League on it too. So some of my favorite players from World Cup, I like found out who was playing on which teams in Premier League, and then I can kind of like follow teams based on that.
Nice.
So I'm gonna see, we'll try it out.
Now, you just
See if
have to
I,
start sports betting now.
dude. No, I can't do that. It's a risky business for me. Uh,
I can tell by your response. It
I
sounds
I've
like it
never got
holds
in.
some appeal.
I've never gotten into it, but I feel like if I did, I would get really sucked into it, and
Yeah.
it'd be bad. So
Yeah, it probably is a bad idea.
yeah,
I've also never done anything like that. The gambling thing, I have my vices. I would not say gambling is one of them, but
yeah. I mean, is buying cryptocurrency kind of gambling? I don't know. I
Yes,
I had that
it
for a while.
is. Yes, it absolutely is. It basically is
Yeah.
gambling.
I
It's
mean,
some form of
yeah.
lifeboat and similar psychological reasoning, you know.
Yeah. There's
So,
a couple apps too, like whatnot. That's not it's not gambling, but it's like these like crazy it's like fast live auctions for whatever, different interest things. So like it's like a TikTok for shopping or something. But it's like these live or like Twitch for the stuff.
okay.
Essentially people could have like, collector like Pokemon cards or other card games or anything that people collect, shoes, whatever it is, like people have these like live auctions and they have all these things set up where it's like, oh, it's we'll do these like quick bids. So it's like every 5 seconds, like a new item is there. And so you're kind of like watching and be like, oh, do I like bid on this and like try to get it before you even like get a chance to like even register what it is entirely. And like usually if it's like a card, like you know what you're looking for sometimes. But it does not give you time to be like, oh, let's check the value of this and blah blah blah. Um, or there's other ones that like it's like a prize thing where like, oh, you can buy a spin on this prize wheel to like see where you land, and like you might get one of these rare things, but like more often than not you won't. And so it's
Yeah.
like it's like real life loot boxes kind of
Uh,
like I was on it for like a day because I was like I was like kind of looking to get back some of my like old retro Pokemon cards that I had gotten rid of as a kid.
yeah.
And so I was just like scrolling through there like oh these people say they have like old vintage cards. Well, one, there's like a bunch of stuff and then some random vintage stuff. Anyway, it just felt like I don't know. It was just like it feels like people just probably spend so much money that they shouldn't or
I
don't
know the
have.
feeling you're
Yeah.
talking about. Sometimes you interact with something like an app or a system, and you can just feel like, dude, if I had a weaker mind, or the people who like
Just trying to claw
don't
into you.
have the resolve, they'll throw it all away.
Definitely.
You can feel it like asking you to give it
Oh my goodness.
your soul, basically.
Yeah. So, oh, it's only $2 for on this card. And then it's another $2. And then
Yeah,
it's $3. And this one's only $2 too.
exactly.
And then by the end of 30 minutes of sitting there, you just spent like $100, like without fully realizing it, and like or more, and it just whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've gotten rid of like every app. So a lot of people have
yeah.
social media. That's great. I think it has benefits in some areas. But for me, I get sucked into like scrolling through reels and all these other things.
Mm.
And so like no problem if other people use it, but I know personally when I go on it, I just feel like I end up wasting so much time.
Well,
And
good for you, getting rid of them.
thanks. But recently, I had installed Facebook again recently, which like I never really went on Facebook, but I got it for like Marketplace, and
Hmm.
uh I was like and then I never opened it. But then my wife started sending me like some random reels from Facebook, and it opened an app, and
That's how it
then
all starts.
I start scrolling. I'm like, I just sat here for 30 minutes scrolling through here again. I'm like, I can't do
It
this
is,
again.
yeah. It is very.
um yeah,
I
so
mean, they've
I deleted
removed.
that too.
Yeah, yeah. They've removed thinking from the selection process
Oh my
of what you're going to
goodness.
spend your time on. Basically, it's like zero friction content, which is not good. It's bad.
Yeah.
Um,
And I've got things I'm trying to accomplish in my life, and these things just pull me out of the like
yeah,
pull me away from everything.
yeah. You're probably good for doing that. Honestly, I should probably do that. I should probably leave social media. I might. I'm getting close. Although I did, I did join Facebook recently.
My wife
Only
just said she's like,
yes, I
Ralph
was
just
gonna
added me
say
on
that.
Facebook.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I just joined there recently because I was looking for Facebook groups
Okay.
to see if there is any kind of like music scene around here
Oh, nice.
where they might be looking for like a player, like a drummer.
Yeah.
Now there aren't. I haven't found anything at all that I would be interested in. I'm sure that I could find some kind of throwaway butt rock country band filled with a bunch of, I don't know,
Oh man,
just like, I'm not interested in that. I would want to play something fun, just like
you could
but
check Meetup. That's a website. It's probably an app too. I've just
okay.
meetup.com, and there's all kinds of groups and things. I think they started making it paid for groups to have pages, so I don't know if it's still being used. But I found
Okay.
like game dev groups and different things like that in the past in
Hmm.
my town.
Oh, that could be cool.
Um,
Yeah. Problem is my area is so small, and the people in it are, it would be very unlikely for me to find somebody with a similar vision to what I'm thinking of. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
um, at any rate, though, I could I could see myself uh leaving social media because it really
yeah,
doesn't have anything for me.
yeah. And like, here's the thing: you could always just like on your computer go to the browser and log in if there's something you really need to do on it. But that is like enough of a barrier that it's not a place you're just gonna go scroll and get sucked into. But you still have access to it if you need it. Like even me, I have Instagram on my iPad, but I only use that to like post things for like sea beasts or
Okay.
like when I'm drawing on stuff. But I'm not going on my I only use my iPad pretty much for drawing. So like I'm not
Yeah.
ever on there just scrolling. So like having those just like barriers in place, I feel like have been helpful for me.
Yeah. Fair
Um,
enough.
yeah. All right. Well, I just looked up drummers needed in Colorado Springs, and there's options
Oh, I
here.
bet
So
your area, of
yeah,
course, there would be like larger areas. There's going to be all kinds of, you know, openings and random
yeah,
people doing cool stuff, I guess. Yeah.
yeah. Might as well just move out here, I guess. So
Yeah, maybe
yeah.
I will.
So
Maybe
cool. Anyway,
into a container.
it's a shed. So
Shit. Yeah.
anyway, you could even put your drum set in there. You wouldn't have anything else, but
It would be drum set, bed, and I'd have to have like a desk
we'll string
somewhere.
up a hammock in there, and then you can just go sit outside for working. I don't know.
Yeah, in the freaking winter,
Yeah, it'll be an
in
experience.
like a coat and
It'll be an
like
experience. Anyway,
yeah.
all right. So our topic that we want to talk about, what is what are we talking about? I like spaced on burnout. That's what it was.
Yes.
Avoiding burnout. So uh, I feel like giving a good definition of what burnout is always helpful, or like or whatever topic we're talking about. I feel like just giving a of like the basis that we're working from. Because again, whatever we talk about, it's all kind of our opinions. It's based on our experience. It's not going to. Hopefully, it's things to give you some kind of advice, um, or at least something to think about. But like, don't take it as like the only truth, the only source of truth out there. You know, again, these are experiences based on two people, and
Yeah.
there's a lot more
And
people in the
Steven and
world.
I are very different sometimes in our
That is
opinions.
true.
So, oh,
I forgot. Hold on, real quick. I forgot to talk about the other things I've been playing, and that's every
oh,
Halo game in
yeah,
existence.
yeah. Well, me
Um,
too. Yeah.
sorry, we'll get into our topic in a second. Sorry to just tease it there and then
Halo break.
move on to it. Yeah. As you guys, if you've listened to this podcast for any amount of episodes, you know that we enjoy Halo, and also we love to hate on Halo.
Yeah.
So we love Halo and love to hate it. But I'm always hopeful, and so there's the Halo One remake. It's like the 25th anniversary of Xbox and 25 years of Halo, and they're remaking Halo One. Comes out end of July, and I'm really excited to play it. So kind of leading into that, been playing through all of the Halo games. Some of this kind of started like months and months ago, where like a friend of mine and I played through Halo One and then Halo Two, and then Ralph and I just started Halo 3 the other day. I decided to jump into I've just been bouncing all around them, just like because I'm like, well, I'm not going to get to play these co-op with anyone in any like one long session. So I've just been, as I have time, like speed running them. And so I went through Halo Reach, also Legendary, playing through the hardest difficulty. on all except for Halo 5, which I'll tell you in a second. Which so I did Reach, and then that's when Ralph and I started 3, and then I went through Halo 4. But then Halo 5 like doesn't exist on PC, and I game on PC, and so I had to get like Xbox Game Pass, but like their plan that lets you do cloud gaming, so I could like stream Halo 5 to my PC without having to play through my like have it run on my Xbox. Um, but I had to use a controller, and I don't use controllers anymore because I'm just like on a computer. And I was really bad. It took me so long, especially when I started playing on the hardest difficulty. I'm just like, I'm just dying. I can't kill
Yeah.
anything here. Like I'm so
For
bad at this
shooters,
game.
PC like mouse and keyboard is just superior.
I agree, but it's also like I used to be really good on controller when I played on Xbox, but I just like I lost all of that coordination.
Yeah.
It slowly started coming back, but then I just like after like 3 or 4 missions on the hardest difficulty, I was like, this isn't fun because one, I don't love this game. There's good
Yeah.
elements,
Halo 5.
but also it just felt bad because I wasn't used to controller, so I just threw it on easy and just like blitz through everything. Like I just want to experience the gameplay generally, and just annihilate things. Anyway, so now I'm on Halo Infinite, not doing all the extra stuff, but it brought back like a new wave of sadness about Halo Infinite
I know.
because the game itself is really fun to play. Like the campaign, just like the gameplay is great. It's just a bummer that it was never continued and like fleshed out with more stuff because it feels really fun and I'm enjoying it.
So much potential. It did
Yeah.
have so much, but it's still, we were just talking about this before the podcast. It's still probably the best 343 release. Um,
Didn't they
Easily.
do Reach though?
No, that was Bungie's last game.
That was Bungie's last one. Okay.
Yep. And that was kind of fumbled in its own right. I think that it was a good idea, but Noble Team, I couldn't
Mm.
connect with Noble Team really, to be honest. So, and then the armor, what is it called? The like armor equipment system was not good. They should have dedicated sprint as its own thing.
That was
Um,
that was weird. Yeah.
the it's just I don't know. There were issues with Reach, but it was still solid. It was fine. Um, what was Infinite though? Man, it really had a lot of potential, but my issues with it, as we were going over previously, like it's exactly one aesthetic across the entire game, which
Mm.
gets very tiresome. And in Halo, no less, which you're used to like this galaxy trotting alien planet. 1 second you're on like a heretic space station, the
Mm.
next second then you're in a snowy land, then you're in like there's so much variety, and then you have like Covenant and Flood and maybe Brutes, and there's a betrayal happening, and like uh,
Yeah.
like Sentinels get involved, and then and all of those things collide in an interesting way, and you're just like with the UNSC and your Master Chief, or I don't know, there's and Infinite really had none of that. It had a tight game loop. It did have tight game play and controls and everything. It's just there's so much potential that it's hard not to be like sad by none of it being realized. Plus all the stuff that happened at the beginning with like the UI issues, the
Not having
not
the
having
full game
co-op.
there.
Not the full game was not there. They had like barely any maps for co-op or not co-op, the
Multiplayer.
multiplayer. Yeah. Anyways, don't need to rehash that for the
Do you
thousandth
think that
time.
team was burnt out by the end of it?
I'm sure they were. Long development cycles will do that. Yes.
Speaking of Burnout,
Yeah.
uh, okay, so yeah, that was a tangent. I don't know if you guys don't like listening, hearing about this stuff. Go join our Discord and let us know. But it's just kind of we're probably gonna still talk
Fair
about video
enough.
games, so it is what it is. But anyway, today we wanted to really talk about avoiding burnout. And so burnout, I don't know what the official definition is, but I'm going to define it as working so hard on something that it loses the appeal. Would you say that's like a general thing, or like you work on something to the point where you're just dead to the world? How would you define burnout? What What's a good like place to start with this?
Question. How would I define it? I think it can be that you work on something for so long or you work so hard that you're just kind of done with it and you've lost whatever spark. But like burnout can also occur on stuff that you never cared about. Yeah.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
so there is no loss of passion sometimes when you're just burnt out on like you're tired of being tired basically.
Yeah.
Um
I,
so
I googled the definition just so we have something else to work
yeah.
from, but it's state of severe emotional, mental, and physical exhaustion caused by prolonged or chronic stress. So it could be from working on something so hard, or it could just be from working on something that is stressful, uh, and not even like I'm so focused on this one thing, like I need to get it done, but it just could be a lot of different things that just like exposure to stress for too long. I think is kind of what it is. Um, and like I've experienced this in jobs in the past, like working for a design agency, just like got extremely burnt out to the point where I was might have gotten reprimanded at work for being a little snappy with other coworkers at one point, because it was just like people just kept piling
Must have been
stuff on.
bad.
It was pretty bad. Uh,
Steven getting snappy. I think that's rare probably.
Depends on the situation, but it's not that rare.
I mean
Um,
at work
at
though,
work, oh
like
yeah, in a
yeah.
professional environment,
Yeah.
that was just not my best moment. Um, but that was just like extreme burnout, just like burning the candle at both ends, as they say,
Yeah.
having no energy, just having more and more asked of you, and then at the same time, like trying to still get some kind of creative side project out there, just like zero energy. Um, Even like my current job, I really enjoy my current job, and I have more time and like more mental space, like after work, to pour into my creative projects. And but sometimes I get too sucked into those and like working on Wally. I've just been like diving in on illustrations, and I had this goal of like getting the book out for people by Christmas. But then that was causing a lot of stress. So actually, this is news too. I guess I haven't even told Ralph this, but I'm slowing the pace down, and I'm not going to push myself to get the book out by Christmas because I was trying to get like 2 pages illustrated a week, which on certain weeks that's fine, and certain pages it's fine. But like there was a week where we were camping for a couple days,
Right, that's
and
true. Yeah.
like we're traveling pretty soon, and like my work has really ramped up the last couple of weeks too. Like, so I've had like more busy times, but then I'm like falling further and further behind these deadlines that I set for myself for to finish the illustrations for Wally, and I was really adding up, and I was getting burnt out into like feeling like I had to push through, and like I'm like, well, I have to go illustrate because otherwise I won't hit this deadline, and
Yeah, okay.
I realized it wasn't healthy to try to maintain that.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm still working on it. It's
Well,
just
if I think we're gonna still need to hit that deadline. So if you could get back
I quit.
track, that'd be.
Yeah. I still think the book will be done by the end of the year. I just don't know if it'll be like printed by Christmas. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
which like
Maybe
would have
some
been
of the
cool.
technical aspects.
Right. Which like I think it would have been cool. Maybe it can still happen. Like I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm just not going to like try to force it to happen because then it loses a lot of the fun of making the project too.
Yeah,
And then it becomes less of like a creative project of like something that I'm passionate about and want to get done, and it
yeah,
becomes more of a chore to finish it. So that's anyway, there's a random side pocket of news attached to that, which the news is just like I'm gonna work on it at a better pace, um and not try to not get burnt out because I started getting burnt out.
yeah.
um what's like something a way you've experienced burnout? How does that affect you?
Very. Well, I mean, I've worked at agencies. It can be a lot. I think I run this risk pretty bad because I really hate the feeling like I've let someone down.
Yeah.
So, like, if you work at a company that has really high, like, their expectation is basically like you bend over backwards, and they have a system or a really trying not to use the word culture because I hate that word, but whatever. They have a culture
Yeah.
of y- like the harder you work, the better you are. Like
Mm-hmm.
the more, if that's the kind of thing your situation someone like me is in, it's really bad because basically it consumes me. And then on top of it being, if it's unrealistic, it can really start to stack negatively because if their expectation is super high and also it's an unrealistic expectation, like I try to maintain high standards for myself, but
Yeah.
I don't, sometimes people just ask for stuff that is impossible and then they're unhappy if you can't deliver. So like that just creates a system where you're working after hours constantly, you're working weekends, you're working
And then it's
early.
and then you're praised for it. Be like, hey, good
You're
job working through the
praised. Yep,
weekend.
exactly. You are praised, and if you get that tiny little nugget of like, "Hey, we're really happy with you," and that
Right.
then you're basically back on the
Really shows your
merry-go-round.
commitment that you've been working 80 hours a week.
So, and I'm not saying, I have good relationships with pretty much every job I've been at before, but I would say, um, what you need to seek out is a good balance. Um, you need to analyze your life and figure out a balance that will allow you to do to live. So your work will come into play. Then you need to live. You need to afford things, but
Yeah.
also you need time for people that you care about, and then you need the time for things that you care about and passions and hobbies and stuff like that. And to relax, you need to be able to
Yeah.
relax sometimes. So like you need to find a balance that's going to work. Um and I don't know. I mean, the answer becomes, if you're burnt out on something, the answer becomes, do I need to make a change? And what does the
Sure.
change look like? Like, honestly assess, do I need to make some kind of change? What should I do? What will I do? What would it look like? And is it worth just, putting some effort into evening out your life a little bit, you know?
Yeah. I think that's all really really good advice. I think the biggest piece of like that you mentioned that I'm discovering and like trying to apply is that taking time away and trying to relax. And I think because I was so like I needed this deadline and it was taking away from other parts of my life. Like when we did go camping, like I still brought my tablet and we're all just sitting down. Okay, well, I'll just try to draw like a little bit to
Uh,
just make a little bit of
yeah,
progress.
yeah. Or else you feel guilty or something.
Right. Cause I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I have time. I could do this now. And so I finished another new spread just end of last week, like another 2 pages. And I, I was like, okay, like I didn't really love when I working on this. I felt like I just had to force these pages out. And I like how they turned out at the end, but it wasn't a fun process. And then like the next pages I started looking at, I'm like, okay, let's dive into the next ones and just keep going. But then I'm like, well, I've just that's when I decided to like pull back on the strict timeline that I have. Excuse me. And once I started pulling back from that timeline, I'm like, I let myself just enjoy downtime and just like
Yeah.
relax.
And play Halo.
Well, I mean, some because I'm like,
Yeah.
there's times where I'm like, every free moment is that's what I had to be doing, was working on the drawings. But like, even my mornings, like I still enjoy my mornings of like getting coffee and like sitting in this room in our house, with like big windows. before the kids get up. But like that was also like my prime drawing time. And so that's when I would work on like a bunch of it. And then I would just all of a sudden be thrown into the day. Kids would get up, we'd be making breakfast, we're doing stuff. And it was just like, it was never time to actually relax. So like this week in my mornings, I'm like, I'm not going to draw in the mornings. Like I'll still draw. I mostly took this week off of drawing. And I think having a break every once in a while is a good reset. So
Yeah.
whether it's, as long as it doesn't like become, oh, I'm taking a break for months. If it doesn't
Yeah.
become this thing where like you never get back to it, that's not beneficial. But if you build in like set breaks and set times for relaxing and like stepping away from whatever projects you're working on or taking a vacation at work or whatever it is, I feel like that's so crucial to maintaining your sanity and like a healthy balance. And for me, it's been like super like relieving just having a week where I'm like not trying to get 2 pages in. Um, and I've just like enjoyed, sitting there talking with my wife or reading a book or playing Halo other times, like watching World Cup games. It's just been trying to take it a little easier this week, has been so much better. So
Good.
yeah.
Yeah, there really is this thing where um this bad trait about feeling guilty for relaxing. I think in our
Yeah.
society, if you're not moving, plus if you are looking at other people, maybe on social media or something, you're seeing everyone's always doing stuff. They're always doing something better than you and different and moving forward and activity, and you're in those moments sedentary, and then you start to build up this guilt. And I would say you should probably feel some guilt for doom scrolling, but
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is just plain old relaxing and enjoying time with people you care about
Yeah.
or doing something that you actually enjoy. And that kind of stuff is totally okay. And important even. We need that.
One of my biggest pet peeves is when people like if you're asking people like, oh, like how have you been or how are you doing, like, and they respond by saying staying busy or like, oh, just staying busy. But why? Why are you staying busy? Why do you want it? Why is that a thing that we're so proud of being busy and staying busy? And you know like busyness is this thing that people just like put on a pedestal now, like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
staying busy. Like, we don't, that shouldn't be the goal. Like, you should be like, oh, I'm just chilling, man. Just chilling, bro. I mean, not entirely, obviously, but like the goal, I feel like it shouldn't just be trying to be busy all the time. I feel like busyness just like sucks up so
There
much
needs to
of.
be a middle ground. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's got to
I
be a
think
middle
do
ground.
stuff like
Yeah.
don't just sit around and do nothing, but like, yeah, you gotta have that middle ground of like doing things that you enjoy, but while also like not just filling all of your time with stuff. Anyway,
Yeah. And do it, yeah, do meaningful things too. Um don't just scroll or dive into
yeah,
there's two extremes, right? You can doom scroll, dive into social media, literally do nothing and just kind of lose your hobbies, I don't know, just kind of internalize everything. And then there's the opposite where you're doing a lot and you're doing a lot of like meaningless stuff, maybe. It's just
hmm,
busy work for the sake of busy work. And you never take a moment. And you will be burnt out and you will be frazzled and you might lash out at people. And I think for us, our tendency would lean towards like work being the bad example, where
yeah,
it's good to be a
yeah,
hard worker. It's good to have a good work ethic. It's good to, take responsibility for whatever your jurisdiction is at work. All that stuff is fine. But if it totally consumes you and it becomes the only thing you can think about or talk about, or you don't have any energy left at the end of the day when you finally do step away, like that's where I've been at multiple times where it's just like takes everything, and it's all I can think about, and it's all I have time for. If I have extra moments, I feel like I have to put them into, like, work.
Yeah.
That's the trap for me, you know?
It
Um,
definitely happens. Like, even if I don't feel like it's been an exceptionally busy day, there's certain days that are more draining that I'm just like, by the end of the day, I'm just wiped. Whether it's just like, I just had a lot of meetings that day, or I had meetings with certain people that drained me and are harder to be
oh, yeah.
around. That
Sure.
still that happens. I feel like a lot of personally, my biggest areas of issue are like in the past have been too many hobbies or trying to do like have too many interests and trying to pursue too many different things with the same level of like accomplishment of like I want to do these things, and so having to pull back on certain areas so that I have more time for like things I'm really want to focus on, or just saying no. Like people, like I got a text yesterday from a friend who's like, "Hey, my brother has this company that he's doing. He needs some like design work. You know, would you be interested in doing that?" I'm like, "No, no, I would not." I mean, I said
Yeah.
it like I was like, "Hey, like I just have a lot on my plate right now. This isn't something I'm really interested in taking on." So, like, I'm not just because I have the skills and I can do a thing, and someone asks me to do a thing. I've gotten better at saying no
That's
to
good.
doing those things. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and focus is a good word too. Like, when you need to focus on in order to be focused, it has to be the opposite of what you're describing, which would be scattered. Like
Right.
like you're just like
Yeah.
all over the place. You say yes to everything, and uh
Yeah.
you have like a million things going on, and you're trying a bunch of cool stuff, but you can't get into any of them really beyond surface level because you're just too kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that would come into play is like prioritization as a part of like poor prioritization would feed burnout, I think, because you're not you don't know what to prioritize, so maybe like bad stuff goes where it shouldn't in your list of priorities, and then that gets maybe too much focus, and then again you're just all over the place with bad focus. I think r- organizing your like it would help me perhaps to organize my list of priorities and get things in order so that I can prioritize and be more focused on the important stuff. Um, and each thing gets its
Yeah.
like dedicated slot. Um,
Focused, but still building in those breaks and times to rest. Because if you're focused and that's all you ever do, that's still not going to be good. But
yeah. You need
yeah.
you need to understand when you can unplug a little bit.
Yeah.
Because also there have been so many times I wonder if have we talked about this before? I feel like there have been so many times when I've been hitting a wall with something I'm trying to crack, and then I just can't do it. But I finally just give up and allow myself to, I just have to step away. And you give yourself that rest, and then your brain comes back the next day or whenever you come
Yeah.
back, and you immediately solve whatever it was because your brain just like needed that recharge. So,
I mean, it's like sometimes bouncing around on projects is helpful too. Like not bouncing around, that's a bad thing. But if you are working on one thing and you have like a writer's block or some block, picking up something else and working on that for a little bit, or like going for a walk, whatever, something else, getting your brain to stop thinking about whatever you're stuck on can help break through those barriers. Or like you might get inspired by something else from another area. So
yes.
that's always helped me as I'm working on different creative things, whether board game or this book or illustrating. Like if I'm just illustrating and everything's starting to feel, I'm like, I feel like I've just been drawing the same thing over and over again. Like, okay, maybe work on a different thing that triggers a different part of my brain. So when I come back, feels more fresh. So anyway, hopefully something in there was helpful for you. If you're dealing with dealing with burnout, or you feel burnt out, Find time to rest. That's the biggest thing, I think. Step away from the thing that is burning you out in some capacity if you're able to. Or if you're not able to, try to limit extra things you're doing outside of that. I don't know. There's
Yeah,
no one size fits all, I guess, but
right, right. And some of it might depend on what you're burnt out on. If you're burnt out on something that you care about, you probably should cut yourself a break a little bit, because it's something that you care about. You need to do it.
yeah.
So try to just cut yourself a break. Take it easy. It's fine. It's still gonna be there when you come back to it. But allow yourself the break, because it will actually be advantageous to the project, because a rested mind working less time will be better than a totally worn out mind working more time. So you're not actually helping your situation. If you're burnt out though on something that you don't really care about, maybe that's the two categories that where the conversation diverts. Like, if you're caring about if you're working on something that you don't care about and you're burnt out on it, that's when you should think about the, like, reorganizing your life kind of thing, where
Mm,
it's like, maybe if this is taking so much energy away from me that I just don't care, and I'm burnt out and it's ruining other things that I do care about, that's when you can start thinking about, maybe there's a bigger change on the horizon for me. Um, and maybe plan it out, maybe envision it, see what you need to do. Um,
yeah.
because I think those two scenarios are a little bit distinct from one another.
Yeah. No, that's a good delineation of those different pieces. So cool. I think that's all the time we got for today, guys. Thanks again for hanging out. Again, hope this was helpful. If you have any questions for us, or want to, give your input on what we talk about, you can find a link to our Discord at seabeasts.com. It's SEE beasts.com. And there's a link to our Discord. You can go in there, chat with us, ask us questions. Again, we would, if you guys are enjoying this podcast, please go over there and let us know what you are enjoying about it or what you don't enjoy about it.
Yeah.
And because we're 6 months in now, we've been doing this for 6 months, and that's pretty cool. That's been pretty fun. Ralph and I are still having fun. So if there's something you like about what we've been doing and we want to see more of that, let us know, and we may or may not take your advice into consideration. So, or your thoughts.
Yeah.
Anyway, sure. Thanks again, everyone, and we'll see you all next time.
All right. See you, everyone.
Bye.